Hello friends, I hope you are well. This time I bring you a video in English about the prophecies of the prophet of the 11th hour from the years 2025 to 2030. Below, I will read his prophecies from 2025 to 2030. I ask you to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Prophecies of 2025. Article 30. The prophetic panorama does not stop. It follows its established course. The prophecies for the year 2025 are: 1. A general religious awakening begins in 2025 by the 144,000 literals who were confirmed in the Lamb's Book of Life. We will have believers and people who will begin to embrace the faith of the workers of the 11th hour 2015 to 2030 and will decide to be part of the final remnant. This change of denomination will lead them to a diffusion of the final prophetic authenticity. Compassion and love will move them to work for YHSHUA. Hamashiach. 2. Donald Trump in 2025 begins his second term as the 47th President of the United States. 3. Donald Trump completes the prophetic pattern as the 8th and last President of the United States since diplomatic relations with the Vatican were resumed in 1984. Asterisk Ronald Reagan. Asterisk George Bush. Asterisk Bill Clinton. Asterisk Bush Jr. Asterisk Barack Obama. Asterisk Donald Trump. Asterisk Joe Biden. Asterisk Donald Trump. 4. In the year 2025 begins the prophetic Yom Kippur investigative judgment for the remnant. 5. The year 2025 is the second year where hunger is increasing the most. 6. The year 2025 is the second year where the global economic crisis advances the most. 7. Wars, rumors of war, fires, earthquakes, hurricanes, plagues, etc. will not stop. They will increase more and more until the end. 8. In 2025, jobs worldwide will be reduced. Technology will replace many workers. 9. In the year 2025, there will be a sifting for the remnant. The wheat and the tares will be chosen. 10. The investigative judgment for the remnant will last 2.5 years, 2025 to 2027. Prophecies of 2026. Article 32. The schedule of the plan of salvation continues until its consummation. My prophetic ministry is to show you what YHSHUA and the Ruach HaKodesh have revealed to me. Accepting it or not is the responsibility of each one. Prophecies of the plan of salvation for the year 2026. 1. The year 2026 is the third year where hunger in the entire world increases the most. 2. It is the second year of the prophetic Yom Kippur investigative judgment for the remnant. 3. The year 2026 is the year where the Supreme Court of the United States begins to legislate on the Sunday law to reach a definitive agreement. 4. In this year, the economy in the United States is more depressing. Inflation will have grown, progress will be irregular and inconsistent. Labor markets will continue to collapse, but the Federal Reserve will continue to be forced to delay its turn towards interest rate cuts. 5. In the year 2026, Donald Trump is a proud dragon. He will overturn the laws in the United States. 6. Viruses, plagues in the Bible, will have increased in the world, claiming many lives. 7. The development of the image of the beast in Donald Trump is a reality demonstrable through the Holy Scriptures. Prophetic searchers will be able to better understand the Scriptures and make the corresponding connections. 8. In this year, technology makes physical money almost disappear. Everything is more digitalized. 9. Political religious agreements are more frequent. Apostate Protestantism begins to ride on political power. 10. The year 2026 is the preamble that warns us that religious freedom is about to end. Prophecies of 2027. Article 33. In this year 2027, we reach the middle of the last prophetic week, 2024 to 2030, of the 6,000 years of the history of sin. This is a key year for the final prophetic events. With confidence and certainty, I will show you from now on a panoramic and chronological view of the immediate future, extending our gaze until the return of YHSHUA. But in this article, I will focus only on the year 2027. 1. In the year 2027, we enter the fourth prophetic year of world hunger. 2. In the first quarter of the year 2027, the National Sunday Law is enacted, and 30 days later, the Worldwide Sunday Law is enacted. 3. On the 13th of Abib, 2027, the investigative judgment for the remnant ends, and their time of grace ends. 4. On the 14th of Abib, the UN enacts the Worldwide Sunday Law. 5. On the 15th of Abib, the Shabbat is killed with the enactment of the Worldwide Sunday Law. 6. On the 16th of Abib, the Second Papal Supremacy is resurrected and will reign for 42 months. Revelation 13, verse 5. 7. The eighth and last kingdom of the prophetic scale begins. Revelation 17, verse 11. Kingdom which will be the Vatican. 8. In the year 2027, the Vatican will finally have what it has longed for years ago. The New World Order has finally arrived. 9. The literal slaughter of the tares that came out of the judgment of the remnant in Ezekiel 9 is fulfilled from the 16th of Abib until the 5th of Shirvan in the year 2027. All the tares die, so that they no longer hinder the work of the gospel. 10. With the death of the tares, there will no longer be a militant church. The wheat that was confirmed in the book of life of the Lamb forms from then on the triumphant church. 11. The triumphant church will be led by the 11th hour workers 2015 to 2030. 12. The U.S. economy finally collapses. 13. The Worldwide Sunday Law is the last sign for the faithful to flee the big cities. 14. On Shirvan 6, 2027, the latter rain falls on the wheat, which came from the sifting that YHSHUA did in the investigative judgment of the remnant. 15. In 2027, the first 3.5 years of dominion of the image of the beast end, where its character was fully developed, and it was possible to see how the image spoke like a dragon. 16. With the latter rain, the loud cry begins, which will gather the sheep that are in the different folds. 17. The city of New York will be visited with judgments for having approved the Sunday Law. There will be a tsunami and fires that will destroy a third of the city. Revelation 8, verses 8 and 9. 18. The rider of the pale horse, Revelation 6, verse 8, begins his journey in the year 2027. The rider represents apostate Protestantism, who from 2027 to 2029 will kill a quarter of the inhabitants of the earth. At that time, the number of the last martyrs will be completed. Verse 11. 19. At the end of 2027, those who want to flee the USA will no longer be allowed to leave. 20. The property of the Shabbat keepers will begin to be confiscated by the state in all parts of the world. 21. In the year 2027, the pre-anxiety begins. 22. The greatest miracles by the final remnant will be seen everywhere. 23. The little children of the righteous will be gathered. 24. The preaching of the gospel as a testimony to all the nations of the world will be completed from 2027 to 2029 and will be fulfilled. Matthew 24, verse 14. 25. The earth is illuminated by the fourth angel. 26. The final one-day worship conflict, Shabbat or Sunday, begins with the Sunday Law. 27. Drastic sanctions will be imposed on Shabbat keepers, such as not being able to buy or sell if they do not obey the mark of the beast. Revelation 13, verses 17 and 18. 28. Technology is used for total control of people. Everyone will be monitored. 29. The real estate industry, which has always been on the rise, collapses. The greatest losses in all areas will begin in 2027. 30. In 2027, the trumpet judgments of the apocalypse begin. 31. In 2027, the investigative judgment for the entire world begins. 32. Who would believe it? But it is true. The Adventist Church that was once favored with blessings from heaven. In 2027, those who were found wanting in the judgment become the worst enemies of the final remnant, workers of the 11th hour 2015 to 2030. They will be the modern Judases. 33. The leadership of the Adventist Church, definitely apostate. Its nakedness is palpable for everyone in the world. They have nothing more to hide. The Omega apostasy reaches its most critical point, and they have no more opportunity because their time of grace is over. Prophecies of 2028. Article 38. 1. The year 2028 is the 5th year of famine for the nations. 2. In the year 2028, the assets of the Adventist Church are confiscated. 3. In this year, many of the last martyrs have already died because of the Sunday law. For the previous anguish continues its course, and many Shabbat keepers are imprisoned, tortured. The calamities of the world are blamed on them. It is said that because they do not keep the Sunday law, these judgments are happening. 5. Millions of people won by the loud cries swell the ranks of the workers of the 11th hour, 2015 to 2030. 6. The beast and the false prophet rage against the workers of the 11th hour. 7. Marvelous miracles are performed by the final remnant. 8. The judgments of the 7 trumpets continue throughout the world in general. 9. The world economy goes from regular to worse. 10. Rewards begin to be offered for the keepers of the Sabbath. 11. The message of the 4th angel illuminates the whole earth. 12. A bitter hatred is awakened against the workers of the 11th hour, 2015 to 2030. 13. Many workers are called to give testimony of their faith before presidents, governors, mayors, etc. 14. In this year, the Adventist Church united with the harlot. Just as it betrayed its sacred trust, it is also betrayed by the harlot who takes away or confiscates all its assets. It finally receives the payment it deserves for the abominations it refused to give up. 2029 in the Prophecies. Article 57, 1. The year 2029 is the year for the end of the loud cry. 2. It is the final year of the harvest of the loud cry. 3. From 1 to 15 Tishrei of the year 2029 is the council of the Pope with the UN to decree death to the keepers of the Shabbat. 4. The day 10 of Tishrei of 2029 is the end of the time of grace for the world in general. Revelation 22, verse 11. 5. On the day 10 of Tishrei, with the end of the time of grace, the 3rd angel sounds the trumpet, and Satan as prosecutor in the heavenly sanctuary is thrown to the earth. Revelation 8, verses 10 and 11. 6. From 11 to 14 Tishrei 2029, the 4th angel sounds the trumpet, and there are judgments where darkness predominates. Revelation 8, verses 12 and 13. 7. On the 15th of Tishrei, 2029, Satan opens the pit of the abyss and releases 200 million demons. Revelation 9:1, 2:16. 8. On the 15th of Tishrei, 2029, the plague of ulcers begins to fall on those who promulgated the Sunday law and the death decree. Revelation 16, verse 2. 9. With the death decree, the 144,000 literals flee to the mountains, forests, jungles. 10. From the 15th of Tishrei of the year 2029, Jacob's anguish begins for the literal 144,000. Persecution such as has never been. Matthew 24, verse 21. 11. The year 2029 is the 6th year of famine in the world. 12. The meeting for the death decree is 1 prophetic hour, which is equivalent to 15 days. Revelation 17, verse 12. A year divided into the 24 hours of the day gives us a result of 15, which is equivalent to 1 prophetic hour. 360 divided by 24 is equal to 15. 13. The 21st of Tishrei of the year 2029 is the last day of the year in the calendar of the sanctuary. The year 2030 in the Prophecies. Article 58, 1. The year 2030 is the year of the last sabbatical year of the 6,000 years of the history of sin. Leviticus 25, verses 1 to 7. 2. The year 2030 is the 7th year of world hunger. In this year, the rich will be affected by hunger. James 5, verses 1 to 6. 3. This is the year in which the final Antichrist will appear in the world and will do miracles, signs, wonders, and will imitate the second coming of YHSHUA. 4. In 2030, which is a sabbatical year, YHSHUA Hamashiach and Ruach HaKodesh rest from their ministries. In this year, the literal 144,000 are as if they were alone. They have no intercessor because YHSHUA rests in that year. 5. The demons released from the abyss. 15 Tishrei 2029 were ordered to strike the wicked with plagues for 5 months, September 15th, 2029 to February 15th, 2030, Revelation 9 verses 4 and 5. 6. After 5 months, The demons kill a third of the wicked on earth. Revelation 9 verse 15. 7. 6 months after the death decree, the literal 144,000 begin to be fed with manna and water due to world famine. 8. On 1 Tishrei 2030, the seventh plague begins. Revelation 16 verses 17 to 21. 9. The seventh plague is 21 days long. 10. On Tishrei 1 2030, with the beginning of the seventh plague, the special resurrection takes place. Daniel 12 verse 2. Revelation 1 verse 7. In this special resurrection, the righteous who are resurrected are those who make up the group of the symbolic 144,000, who together with the literal 144,000 will spend the final 21 days of the seventh plague. 11. With the special resurrection, the voice of YHWH confirms the date of the second coming to the literal 144,000 and teaches the symbolic 144,000 who do not know the precise date of the second coming of YHWH HaMashiach, Tishrei 21, 2030. 12. From 1 to 15 Tishrei 2030 is the second prophetic hour, 15 days, where the USA and the UN betray and destroy the Vatican, destruction of the Great Babylon. Revelation 18:10, 17, 19. 13. On Tishrei 21, the 6,000 years of the history of sin are fulfilled, and it is the end of the world. 14. The second coming of YHWH HaMashiach is on Tishrei 21, 2030. 15. The first resurrection, that of the righteous, occurs on Tishrei 21, 2030. 16. The wicked are killed on Tishrei 21 by the brightness of the glory of YHWH HaMashiach. 17. The wrath of YHWH has been consummated. 18. The journey of YHWH HaMashiach's second coming to earth lasts 7 days. 15 to 21. Revelation 8 verse 1. 19. The 7 last plagues last 1 year. Revelation 18 verse 8. 20. The 6th millennium, 1031 to 2030, ends on Tishrei 21, 2030. Rabbi and Ray, Visfut Etzion. Well, friends, that's all. I hope you liked the video. If you want, you can follow me on Patreon, where I publish some personal reflections on how I'm seeing events converge. It's free. There are some videos that I haven't posted here yet, but they will be on the channel in the next few weeks. Go follow me on Facebook and on X. I hope that God erases our sins from the book of rebellions and writes our names in the book of life of the Lamb. Shabbat Shalom.